Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey! I'm Brian,
and I'm Kristen.
and this is the Brian and Kristen podcast. August 13th, 2023 is the day, and we got a lot going on with us. We got a special guest here tonight too, and we
Bessie.
actually got a lot of special guests in the audience. We are doing our first. This is live, but also we got a studio audience. I don't know, Kristen. Can you see our studio audience back there?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
I can.
Okay, so we got we got our studio audience of Mom, Mrs. M, and Uncle Bob.
All
So,
right.
and I've got a new backdrop here for the podcast. Hey,
And if anybody's listening, it's a lovely green backdrop.
yes, a lovely green backdrop. So the uh, the podcast keeps growing. So, well, let's start with you, Kristen. We got some balloons in the background. What's going on with those balloons behind you?
Well, first of all, you did say it was August 13th, but you failed to mention that it is your birthday. So these are dual purpose balloons.
Okay.
um, so for the last month when I've been in Dallas, I was actually there for flight attendant training, and I officially graduated on Friday. So when I came back, my friends threw a surprise celebration. So if anybody knows Southwest Colors, that's it. So that is what we are celebrating, and your birthday. So double
Good for
use,
you.
efficient.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
So
Now,
go ahead.
well, now Mom has been filling me in about how difficult this training actually is to be a flight attendant. I didn't think a flight attendant would be. I just thought it might be pretty easy. You go hand in an application. Can you say, "Do you want snacks? Yes or no?" Uh,
I know, snacks and soda, way more complicated than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. But you've actually been training at it for a month, right?
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, the bar exam in law school was really difficult. The factor that people don't think know about the flight attendant training is at any moment you can fail something and they can send you home. So for the 4 weeks, you're stressed out because if you don't pass something, you get sent home right away. Oh, I should also share the photo that they put up too. It's official Southwest photo there. Oh, if you're listening, you can't see it, but anyway. um,
That's a great picture there.
yeah, so it was really hard. And there's a lot of stuff you can't actually talk about because it's all safety related. But flight attendants are actually there for your safety, and most people don't know that. They think you're just there to pass out snacks and soda. So
So they're there. Yeah, I never thought they were there for your safety. I thought they were there just to, like you said, pass out stuff for your soda and to help these dumb people who bring in bags that are clearly too big for the overhead bin to try to force those in.
yeah, that yeah, that is a problem. And then also your so-called emotional support animals,
Like this one,
like that one.
like this emotional support animal. Uh, so yeah, so this is my emotional support animal.
Like a
He comes with
bestie.
me whenever I can. But yeah, so it was actually a lot of work, and you had to take tests, and right?
You have to take a written test. Obviously, the announcements, those things are a lot harder to memorize too. You don't think that it would be, but that's a lot to memorize. And then to be able to say it back in front of, I mean, you would be used to it. 175 people. I don't know. Are your audiences that big? 175 people?
Yeah, I wish they were always that or more. It depends. You've seen both, but yeah, it was kind of like because I was telling Mom to tell you just start memorizing as if a monologue. For me, I would just take that, uh, you know, paragraph by paragraph to learn the monologue that you guys have to do.
Yeah. So that and what was I going to say about that? Having to memorize that much. Oh, but being like in front of an audience because you got all those people staring at you. You don't realize it. Like you don't do any of that stuff in class. And then we did have to do a day where we like got on flights and just flew. And so all of a sudden, the time you like learn the safety demo, and then the next thing you know, you're on a plane in front of a bunch of people actually doing that demo. You're like on an active taxiway. So it was a little surreal to do all of it, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've heard. I just caught myself saying a uh, uh, but I've been on some planes where they have some pretty funny people delivering. They have a lot of jokes with the introduction onto the flight and stuff, and I think that's a good idea because it lightens the mood of the people in the airplane.
Yeah, I totally. And when they announced, so they would keep telling people that I was new, and then they told them I was going to be serving rows 1 through 9, and I was like, I hope you guys didn't wear good clothes today. Ser- Serving the drinks, that's way harder than you would think.
Yeah. Well, that probably is hard because the aisles are so small and you got a lot of people and now you're getting kind of like they're trying to make the airplanes give them bigger bathroom because people keep getting bigger, you know. There's another,
Look at me, Busty's like, wait, did you say Look.
Well, that's great. And you even had a graduation.
Yeah, and no, just kidding. They had other people who are either pilots or flight attendants. If they like for example, a friend of mine from the class, her father was a pilot, so he was able to give her the wings that they give you. So there were a lot of people who's like, it's a big deal. Like there's a lot of family that has their family go through these trainings and things. So
Well, I'm happy for you. The only thing I think is that you should figure out a way to put in your contract that your brother gets to fly for free because I need some miles here.
yeah, I get some buddy passes and some things, so we'll figure that out.
Okay, I need some buddy passes and some service animal passes, and
Yeah, Bestie flies free.
yes. So and he's going to be part of our next episode
I think we
because we
might
got
have time to answer the question today, actually.
yeah, I guess so. We got time. So we should get to this because our question for this week comes from Ken Mouse, KenMows from YouTube.
Do
And
you know
it's a
him?
two-part question. And I think we should answer half of this question today and then the other half on the next podcast. And the first part of the question is, how old is your dog? And the second is, did you have pets growing up? And I think for us, we've had so many pets growing up. I think we could fill a whole podcast episode with that one. So I think we'll do half and half.
All right.
So, but the first part is, how old is your dog? So take a look. This is a mature dog. And I've had him since 2011. But when we got him, I think he was already 3 or 4. The vets thought so. That would make him 2011 to now. That's 12 years. He's about 15 years old, we think, or at least 12 years old for sure. But he could be all the way up to 15 years old. What do you think, Kristen?
I mean, he's acted the same since day one.
That's the thing. He has been always a docile dog. And one thing I love about this dog, with a lot of things I love, is that he knows he's little.
Oh, he
Um,
does?
he knows he's little. A lot of little dogs think they're big and they go around barking and causing trouble. And he knows he's little. And I think that he was really helpful to me during 2020 when I was moving back and forth across the country from California back to Ohio because he would sit in my lap for thousands of miles at a time and
He's
just sit
probably
in my lap.
he's he's more traveled than a lot of people.
He really is. I was figuring that up. I think there's only like 10 or 12 states he hasn't been through.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yes. So he's been across the country several times, and it's a really kind of wild story too how I got him because at the time I was living in Los Angeles and I was visiting some friends of mine, and their dad had a dog, and that dog kind of followed me into every room. Okay. and it was just one of those, sometimes certain dogs like you. And I was going into every room. That dog would follow me. I'd be in the living room. They'd say, Brian, go in the kitchen, see what would happen. And that dog would follow me. And then my one friend, Val, said, Brian, you need a dog. I said, I'm so busy, I don't need a dog. And then by chance, she was walking her dog at the dog park, and she saw a girl that was walking this dog. And Val said, I took one look at that dog and I knew it was for you, Brian. I can't explain it. I just knew it. And she started talking to the girl who had my dog now, and she said, she said that she had found him with another dog. They were kind of running astray, and she found a house for the other dog. But she's the type of nice person that kind of has like 4 or 5 dogs at all the time, taking care of dogs and whatnot. And so then Val said, you guys see this dog? So then the girl brought this dog to my house, and of course I saw his big ears, and even though I didn't want a dog, I kept him. And I appreciate both of them. The girl who had the dog for giving him to me, because he really has helped my life out, and Val for noticing that this dog and I would bond like we did. But of course he bonds with everyone, so it's not like I'm special. But
no, I don't think that's true, because when you first had him, he wouldn't leave your room.
That's true.
It's taken him a long time to warm up to people, but now he's better. He's a little more, I don't think social is actually the right word, but he gets along better with other people now.
He really does. He's come a long way as far as that. And, when first he's the type of dog that wants people around, or at least other dogs. So at first he would tear up my place when I would leave the apartment, kind of scratch it up and tear it up. And so it's been a pretty wild journey with him, but as you can see, well worth it. And he's been the star of several short movies. He's an independent movie film dog, not a mainstream movie.
Oh, good. He's got a lot of good credits, though.
He's got a lot of good credits. I mean, he's been in several movies with Scooby. We made a movie for him, a special movie on him called Lost and Found, where he gets lost and then he gets a home. And so, but he's kind of more of an edgy type of actor.
Because those ears, those really separate him.
Yeah, this separates him. He's not the typical leading man dog like Lassie or something like that. He's got to be in the more independent films.
That's funny. And you haven't mentioned what his name is. So what was his original name, and what's his name now, and how did he get that?
He's had a lot of names. His first name was Prince, which I wasn't supposed to change. And then it got changed to Bestie, because I said, this is my bestie. And then somebody else started saying Bestie, and that kind of stuck. And I'm okay, Bestie. And then, but one of my old roommates, that guy's girlfriend used to call him DeVito because he looks like Danny DeVito, and he would respond to that. So he'll respond. If you call him Prince, he'll respond. You call him Bestie, he'll respond. You call him DeVito, he'll respond. Which goes to show me that this dog, it's not about your name. Your name means nothing. It's about your personality, who your aura is, your soul.
Oh, that's good. We learned that.
Yeah,
it's not about your name. It's not about your name or your identity or what you identify with. It's about your aura.
Yeah, it's about your aura, what your soul is.
That's funny.
And so he's a lazy dog, but I like that about him, because there's not a lot of work that I have to do with him, and he seems to always get fed by someone, even if I forget to do that.
That's like dog ownership 101. Feed your dog.
Yeah. But he still loves me. See, that's
and my favorite part about him is that he's on your schedule. Like he's the exact type of dog you should have, where he'll sleep all day and he doesn't need to get up until you get up.
I love that about him too. He just lays there until you get up, and then you're like, okay, let's go out. Then he goes out, and he doesn't require a lot of attention when you take him out. Although sometimes he's so lazy that I have to walk him to this. I literally carry him, walk him to the middle of the yard so he'll walk back. And he hates the winters. He grew up in California, so he's a little spoiled to the good weather. But He's
can't
getting a
blame
little,
him.
yeah, you can't blame him. So we want to get him back out to California to see his original owner. You know, his original owner was a cheerleader for the Clippers. So I don't know if you got a bad deal on that one, buddy. Uh,
That's funny.
so
He almost matches. His ears look like the pig on your
yes,
shirt.
I should have picked a different color shirt to wear while I'm holding because
No, but it looks the same. It's like it's very
yeah,
similar.
yeah. So he's been good, and then when we'll finish up on his story is he was starting to go blind. He had cataracts, and by chance, one of my friends from wrestling back in high school was a dog optometrist, Ronnie Spatola, and we got his eyes fixed, and he's seeing good. So
Well worth it.
he's well worth it, worth every penny. So, well, Kristen, I want to thank you for coming out. I want to say thanks to Uncle Bob, Mrs. M, and of course my mom and Mia Moore for making me. You missed a good dinner
Oh, I'm
because not only
sure.
was mom cooking, but Mia Moore was cooking. So that was like double good food.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so well, that is this. We got the next week, and congratulations again on
Thank
your
you.
job at Southwest. That's pretty awesome. And we'll save this next question. Did you have pets growing up for another time? Because we got at least 15 minutes of stories there. I mean,
For sure.
I'm gonna have to write down all the different animals we had growing up.
Yeah.
Actually, I can do it off my head, but
That was just for dramatic purposes.
yeah, yeah.
It's very dramatic. I have a list.
Yeah, but yeah. So thanks for joining me on this special
Of course.
episode,
Yeah.
my
Happy
birthday
birthday.
episode. I'm glad you
Birthday
came
episode.
to join me today on this instead of our usual time. So
Yeah.
and
It's good to see
so
Bestie too.
yeah, he liked it, although he's glad to be off my lap and walking around. So,
He's like, I've had enough camera time for the day. I'm out.
yeah, yeah. He didn't, SAG-AFTRA is on strike right now.
Well, I
So
mean, he's not getting paid for this, so I can understand that. He had 15 minutes. He's like, I'll give you 15 minutes. Beyond that, I have a SAG contract.
yeah.
It's cost thousands of dollars normally.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining me, Kristen, and
Yeah.
thank you
Happy
guys for.
birthday.
Yay, thank you. And for the audience, make sure to like it, share it, subscribe to it, and send us any questions you have for upcoming episodes. This was a great one. How old is your dog? So and
We still
answer
don't
any
know.
questions.
We actually still don't know. We don't
We
actually have
don't
the answer
know.
for
We
that.
don't know.
There's
I'm
the
going to say he's
very long
14 or
story.
15.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
actually
long
know.
story. Long story for no answer. I'd
Sorry,
make a
great
great
question.
politician.
Of
Yeah.
course. Oh yeah, we haven't had any political comments. Good. We got to 18 minutes, and that's the first sign of a political comment.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
Kristen. Thank you. I'll see
All
you guys
right.
on the next one.
All right. Bye.